Insatiable dropped out of nowhere, sparked immediate outrage, and then somehow managed to get 2 whole seasons before collapsing under its own chaos. Looking back, the whole thing feels less like a normal series and more like a fever dream we all collectively hallucinated. So let's rewind. Insatiable started life as a CW pilot, but CW passed on it and Netflix swooped in, thinking they had their next dark comedy hit. This show, starring Debbie Ryan, was loosely based on a 2014 New York Times article called The Pageant King of Alabama. Before it even premiered, this show was already infamous. The trailer alone sparked outrage. Over 200,000 people signed a petition demanding Netflix to cancel the series. People saw the trailer and said, "Really? This is what we're doing? Debbie Ryan in a fat suit?" And honestly, I don't blame anyone for being mad. The optics were terrible. A thin actress in a fat suit playing a character bullied for her weight only to become skinny and suddenly desirable. It looked like an after-school special from 2004 that somehow slipped through a time portal. But here's the wild part. Insatiable was actually not exactly what the trailer promised. Yes, the fat suit existed for all of 6 minutes in episode 1, but the show itself was about way more than God gets thin, God gets everything. It was a full-blown chaotic spiral into pageant politics, teen revenge fantasies, queer scandals, and eventually murder. Season 1 starts with Patty, aka Fatty Patty, who gets bullied relentlessly because of her weight. And when I say bullied, I mean cartoonishly cruel, almost horror movie levels of bullying. It's uncomfortable, but it's also painfully real for people who have lived that. After an altercation with a homeless man, Patty gets her jaw wet shut for months, loses the weight, and suddenly the whole world sees her differently. Enter Bob Armstrong, a disgraced lawyer slash beauty pageant coach with a southern drawl and flair for the dramatic. He takes Patty under his wing, partially to rebuild his own reputation, partly because he sees potential in her. And here's the thing, season 1 actually had something to say. Beneath the absurdity, the show explored body image, bullying, trauma, and the uncomfortable truth that losing weight doesn't magically fix your life. Patty is skinny now, but she's still insecure, still selfish, still haunted by the cruelty she endured. One of the most powerful episodes dives into her binge eating, which was filmed so brutally raw it felt like a horror scene. The show wasn't subtle. Characters literally say things like, being skinny doesn't mean you're a good person, or if you're ugly on the inside, none of this matters. Heavy-handed, sure, but when you're dealing with such sensitive topics, sometimes being blunt is better than being coy. And for all its flaws, season 1 delivered. Messy, dark, yes, but it made sense. Patty wasn't a hero, she was a train wreck, a selfish, reckless teen who happened to be skinny now. It was campy, uncomfortable, and weirdly effective. Then came season 2, and this is where the fever dream really begins. Because for reasons I will never understand, the writers decided that Patty, or a messy pageant girl with an ED, should also become a serial killer. I'm not even joking. By the end of season 2, Patty has killed 6 people. And not all in self-defense either. Some were accidents, sure, some were villains, fine. But the point is, the show doubled down on turning Patty into a teenage Dexter. Except it didn't fit. Patty didn't start out as a sociopath. She started out traumatized, insecure. Suddenly making her a killer doesn't deepen her character. It just derailed the entire story. And the worst part, the show started tying her binge eating to her murders, as if an ED and her urge to kill were 2 sides of the same coin. Like, what? That's irresponsible nonsense. People with EDs are not ticking time bombs waiting to commit homicide. But that's where Insatiable lost the plot. Season 1 was messy but grounded. It connected Patty's trauma, her selfishness, and her body image in a way that made sense. Season 2 turned it into a parody. She's murdering drug dealers with dance moves. She's prioritizing treadmill time over hiding a corpse. By the finale, she's literally giving a pageant speech about being yourself while standing on stage as a secret serial killer. It was absurd. And then there's the finale itself. Everyone finds out Patty killed someone, and instead of accountability, she frames it like they're the problem for judging her. People don't want to see the real you, she says, while standing there with blood on her hands. This show tried to make it empowering, but instead it felt like gaslighting. By this point, any chance of Insatiable being a meaningful commentary on body image was gone. It had morphed into a campy, incoherent soap where the message was basically, maybe murder is self-care. And yeah, Netflix cancelled it right after season 2. Looking back, that's what makes Insatiable such a fever dream. It started as a show with a real point, that beauty doesn't fix brokenness. that trauma lingers, that being skinny does not equal being happy. But instead of sticking the landing, it got lost in its own absurdity. What could have been a dark, thoughtful dramedy about body image became a cartoonish murderfest with zero direction. And yet, I can't completely dismiss it, because for all of its chaos, Insatiable did capture something raw. Its portrayal of binge eating, insecurity, and self hatred was uncomfortably real. And for people who saw themselves in Patty's struggles, the show mattered. Even if it also made them scream at the TV while she was randomly killing another person. So, was Insatiable good? No. Was it bad? It was something else entirely. It was messy, offensive, campy, triggering, and occasionally brilliant. It was a show that tried to do everything at once: satire, drama, horror, comedy, and maybe that's where they went wrong. Maybe that's why we still talk about it. Because even in failure, Insatiable left an impression. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this analysis, please tell me your thoughts down below, comment, like, subscribe, share, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!